Popular children's games, including Roblox and Minecraft, are being put on notice by the Australian eSafety watchdog amid rising fears predators are using them to groom kids online. Stephanie Ferrier joins us now from Melbourne. Steph, how are authorities trying to better protect children?
Good morning, Gemma. They're doing quite a lot, and if you are a parent or you've been around kids, then there's a big chance that you have either heard of these games or you've been repeatedly trying to kick your kids off them. They're Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox. Now, they are all in the eSafety Commissioner's sights, and Julie Inman-Grant has slapped on a legally enforceable transparency order on the operators of these particular platforms. She wants to know exactly what these operators are doing to be able to identify, to respond to and prevent those who would do any harm to our kids. Now, they include sexual predators online that are trying to groom our kids, also extremist groups that might be trying to spread that really violent propaganda and also radicalise young people. Now, Julie Inman-Grant says that it is really important to have a greater idea of what is going on behind the scenes, and that is because there are so many people out there playing online games. The recent research shows that there are 90% or close to 90% of 8 to 17-year-olds playing online games in Australia. This is what she had to say on News Breakfast a little while ago.
You can't have accountability without meaningful transparency. And so many of these companies are a black box in terms of what they're actually doing to prevent harm, particularly illegal content like child sexual exploitation and terrorist content from children. The challenge with the mainstream platforms is they're just a honeypot of young people. So if you're an extremist who wants to bring more adherents to you, or you're a predator, it's pretty easy to make contact with kids on these platforms because they now have chat functionality, or they could be moved off that platform to other platforms like Snap or Discord that are more hidden.
Steph, these games, they're not covered by the social media ban for under 16. So what happens if they don't follow those rules?
Well, if they fail to comply with these transparency orders, then they could face fines of around $825,000 a day. Generally, breaching the online safety code carries penalties of up to $50 million in Australia. Julie Inman-Grant says that this transparency order is going to be looking at the way that these operators use their systems, their staffing, and also their designs to be able to actually comply with those codes. Now, we've already heard from Roblox more than a week ago. It announced that it was actually upgrading its safety features for its platform, and that was to restrict children's access. So there's going to be children's particular accounts, as well as restricting those who can actually be in the chat room with them. It will restrict them to moderate ratings of games, and it's also going to boost parental controls. But in terms of advice for parents, Julie Inman-Grant says that parents can go to the eSafety website, and there's an entire section which talks about parental controls and how to be able to manipulate them for particular gaming platforms to ensure that they're doing as much as they can to ensure that their children are safe. The other thing that she says is simply just engaging with your kids a little bit more, perhaps co-playing these games with them or co-viewing and watching them while they play their games. Even asking them whether or not they've had any strange interactions when they have been on these games. And she says that that's the most important thing, is to absolutely remain vigilant, particularly in this age of chat rooms and chat manipulation on online gaming. That is the difficulty that obviously so many people didn't face when they were kids, and they have to just understand that this is the new reality and ensure that their kids are safe and they know exactly who they might be talking to.